This is The Price is Right.
Okay.
Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. And now we have a pencil. A number 2 pencil, unsharpened.
Dear Shandy. Welcome back to a brand new Dear Shandy Bachelor in Paradise recap, listeners. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
How are you today?
Doing okay. Doing okay.
Yeah, despite some unfortunate news we have.
Well, I think that Harold found his way back to our apartment.
It's obviously Harold.
It's definitely Harold.
It's no other mouse. All the people who were like, once there's one mouse, there are other mice. And we were like, no, there isn't.
Well, I know it's Harold because he's so comfortable around us.
Yeah, that's true.
He just sits there and looks at us.
And he's also like learned his lesson because he's not falling for the traps this time.
No.
So it's clearly Harold.
We got to up our game.
Well, hopefully next recap we'll show you another mouse. Okay, what else do we have, Andy, before we get going on this episode?
We have a winner of yet another one of our stupid contests that we are now running.
Our prizeless contest.
Yes. And the question to win this nothing prize was, who was the woman on a previous Bachelor season who was always right?
Yeah, we deemed always right, meaning we felt like even if we didn't know all the pieces of a puzzle or like the sides of a story, we felt this person always had the right take.
Yeah.
And that contestant was Edwina. And the person who said this correctly, the Shandy, is Maribel Augustin.
Let's go Maribel Augustin.
I'm going with Maribel Augustin.
I'm going with Maribel Augustin.
Okay, well, congratulations. You win absolutely nothing, but you were the first to come out of the gate and say Edwina, and you were definitely right about that. And so thank you for knowing us better than we know ourselves. And Andy, do you feel ready to get going? Recapping episode 6 of Bachelor in Paradise, season 10.
There's a new mouse in town.
This was a momentous episode.
Yeah.
Because this was the episode that this show became something else. It became something other than Bachelor in Paradise.
It became a new show and a show that I approve of.
That's the thing. I find it interesting. It's sort of getting mixed responses. Some people are not into the cash prize. I am so into it.
Me too.
I thought that this episode was the most interesting episode thus far. Like, you see people behave a little differently. They get a different glint in their eyes when it's like, oh, I don't need to necessarily, like, normally everyone I think has a glint in their eyes, right? They want airtime. They want to be on as long as possible. It's not because they're getting paid a lot.
No.
They are getting paid usually for Paradise, but not a lot. But I think they're there for followers, which then translates into a career change, usually, which is dollar signs, right?
Of course.
And then here it's like, we are potentially offering you life-changing money.
This is good money.
This is serious money. Yeah. And I'm telling you, people were like a little...
Oh.
It looked different.
Oh, it changed.
They had a different gleam
changed.
to them.
There's the love of love and there's the love of money. And they are competing forces.
Yeah, the only one who doesn't choose the love... Actually... We'll get to this, but the Goldens are the ones who choose the love of love.
Except for Gary. He seems to really want that cash.
Okay, I loved how the intro to this episode was derailed by the furniture being moved and the cameras moved. Was it Scott Teddy?
It could have been.
I think it was him, and his head was in his hands. I just thought this was hilarious, and they just sort of like didn't do it.
Yeah.
I loved this.
It's great.
Okay, so we have our rose ceremony cocktail party continued from last week with the Goldens. Gary is very much the hot commodity.
Mm-hmm.
Kim talks to each Faith and Nancy. Touching moment where he and Nancy bond over losing their spouses.
Yeah.
But not touching enough, Andy.
No, apparently not.
Yeah. With the Youngs, Kat and Dale talk. He wishes she'd open up more. Honestly, looking back on this scene, I'm just like, oh, this was such BS.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to make it seem like he would possibly choose Alicia, like she would open up more, and he would know this based on 30 minutes of conversation they've had.
And no one fell for that.
Yeah. So now we have a rose ceremony. Brian gives his rose to Parisa, Andrew to Alex, Jeremy to Bailey, Spencer to Jess, Dale to Kat. Andy, you said, so all that drama just kind of blew over.
Nothing.
This is kind of a par for the course with them, isn't it?
I'm really surprised. I thought that was the end of it.
Oh, what thing?
The first issue.
The first issue, wasn't that last rose ceremony?
Yeah, I thought it was over then.
They're still going. Sean gives his rose to Alicia, Jonathan to Leia, and in her ITM, Leia talks about how it hasn't crossed over to romantic territory yet, Andy.
I mean, this is the theme with Jonathan.
Is this so not surprising or what? I cannot even believe. He's at the point where, as you said last week, I can't even imagine him in a romantic setting with a woman on this show. And then we asked ourselves, we're like, has he even kissed anyone?
No. He hasn't kissed anyone.
Let's go through it. There was Alex first. I swear there was no kissing.
Definitely no kissing.
And then who was after that? Who was the girl he was? Oh,
and there was Jill.
Jill, definitely nothing there.
Nothing.
And then it
Kat was kind of like a little
Kat's the only one
crossover.
but even with Kat, he seems like her friend.
There was a moment where he could have kissed Kat.
A couple moments, I think. He could have
didn't capitalize on that.
No, and now Leia, he's just not
happening.
No.
I mean, he came close. Honestly, I think the closest he came to kissing someone was April.
It's true. Her mouth, I think, got the closest to his out of anyone's mouths.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I'm almost impressed that we can reach episode 6 and he's stayed on the show not having pecked anyone.
What's crazy is I can't even picture Jonathan kissing anyone now. I can't picture him kissing a person. Like, did he kiss Jen on her season? I assume he did, right?
I guess so, but
is it possible he didn't?
It was a similar thing, though. I remember on Jen's season, it was like such a slow burn that she was like,
yeah, what's going on?
Like he made it to final 3, but it reached a point where his relationship was so far behind. I mean, he's not there for romance. Come on. It almost feels like he knew there would be a cash prize at the end of this, and that's why he's here. Keith gives his rose to Kathy. Andy, you said you think Keith is a walking pharma ad.
Yes. You put anything. Pharmagia, Provincial, Sequentia. Did you think of one? Bimergia. Luquentia.
You're better at this than me.
Sylventia.
I can only think of actual ones like Cymbalta.
Slybula.
I can only think of like Cymbalta, Ozempic, ones that
you're
exist.
thinking of real ones. I'm
yeah, I know.
Stuff.
I can't think of any. I can't.
Plawenta.
But he has the look. He's got the voice.
Yeah.
He's got that like sincere look in his eyes. I can see it.
Absolutely.
He could sell me anything.
He's having a good time. They're going to dinner.
Yes.
He's playing volleyball. He's laughing. He falls and still laughs while playing volleyball.
And he's one of those guys that like dances in the kitchen.
Oh, he's dancing in the kitchen.
He's taking his daughters to like a movie.
Yeah. He's having a great time eating popcorn, laughing so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Plawenta.
Plawenta, yeah.
Kim gives his rose to Faith.
Oh.
I was excited about this.
Yeah.
I mean, I continue to be excited about it. Gary gives his to Leslie. Going home then are April, Nancy, and Natasha.
Nancy, big loss.
Yeah, they were all a big loss. I mean, April was just great TV. And Natasha, I think Natasha was really sincere and I would have liked to, there were not enough golden men. Okay.
Not enough golden men for Natasha.
Jesse now gives the big announcement, which is that the relationships will be tested and there'll be a $500,000 prize at the end of this. And definitely some, I think, post-recorded audio here.
Yeah.
Like some of it didn't really match. And I just thought it was so interesting how in a studio, you can simply not recreate the sound of being there.
No. And
I think it was just to like make it more honestly concise. Like it wasn't, I think, to like redo anything. I just thought it was so interesting that sound. It's like color.
Well, what I always
like light. You change the light, which we recently did.
Does it look good?
We're trying over here. We're in our living room. Okay, we changed our light, and it's insane the difference a change of lighting makes.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And I think going in a studio versus being outside, it's just it's insane.
Air, different air.
Is that what it
Breeze,
is?
no walls, grass.
Okay, good contribution. Okay, so now it's the next day in Jeremy's ITM. I'm not going to talk about what he says, but next to his name it says, has 500,000 reasons to love Bailey now. Ooh, burn. Ooh. Kim, meanwhile, says 500,000 is no motivation for him. He wants love. And I just was struck by the generational difference here.
Yeah.
None of the Goldens seem to care about the money.
Gary wants the money.
What makes you think Gary wants the money?
Got really excited about the money.
Okay, so the couples now, I think this is a good move. They start learning each other, asking each other questions and stuff so they can study up for the test. Meanwhile, Parisa is having a hard time since she and Brian are in a weird place. We'll circle back to them, obviously. So now we have a relationship test, the high, low, what do you know test. What did you think of this, Andy?
I like it.
Me too.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. It was even well branded. They had like the things made.
Oh, yeah.
The tokens. Like they have these made.
The whole someone is really awake at the switch here.
Yes. You know how it feels? It's like Scott Teti wanted to prove himself.
Yeah.
You know, you're right. At the switch is someone who wants it to be good.
Yeah.
And it's like his reputation is on the line. It's not someone who's just phoning it in.
It's someone who cares.
Yes.
It's the same thing as any restaurant. You go to a restaurant, you're like, oh, the food's good here. But it's a corporate restaurant. It's like they're like giving you what you want by the numbers.
Yeah,
they did the market research.
Yeah.
And like they
Olive
want
Garden
penne alla vodka,
Yeah.
not too heavy on the vodka.
Yeah.
You know.
People are arguing that this show is a knockoff of Netflix.
Yeah, but everything's a knockoff of something.
But here's the thing. People who say that.
Picasso is actually Picasso wasn't a knockoff.
No,
he was actually a complete original.
OG.
but like Beethoven is a knockoff of some previous Mozart a little bit. Not really.
That's not the best.
It's not a good analogy.
But actually, I would argue the people saying that this is a knockoff of Netflix have not seen Bachelor Pad. This is a knockoff of their own show from 10 plus years
ago.
ago.
And maybe Netflix is a knockoff of Bachelor Pad.
It is. Bachelor Pad was the original one to put everyone in one house together from different seasons of the show, have them date each other, and have them compete for a cash prize at the end. That was before almost anyone.
No.
Seriously, before F-Boy Island. The only one who was around before that was Temptation Island. I don't mean to be all like prideful of Bachelor Nation, but truly they were innovative. It's just that they didn't continue with the show that I think was better.
The bottom line is I trust the chef at this restaurant.
Yes.
I feel confident that whatever comes to me is going to be good.
Maybe aesthetically, I can see a bit of that aesthetically.
Yeah,
sure. Light, the coloring, I can see it aesthetically.
But Netflix has created the vibe. That's it. They've created this.
Yeah.
It's just now this is the sea that everyone swims in.
No, it is. You're right. It's almost like this. You have to keep up.
Yeah.
It's sort of like how now
it's
Instagram.
Like cars.
Yeah.
Like cars don't have fins anymore. You know,
Yeah.
Someone made a car that didn't have fins, and we're like, yeah, that's probably a better call.
Yes.
The fins are over.
It's the direction that everything is headed in. It's so true.
Bell bottoms.
You got to You got to rebrand.
Got to rebrand.
It's like a chocolate bar that was perfectly good before. You were still buying that Kit Kat, but then they rebrand and the wrapper's all shiny now.
Yeah.
And are you going to be upset because it doesn't look like the old Kit Kat?
No. You cannot live in the past.
No.
It's like with music.
Yes.
There was the Beatles, and then there was a million other Beatles. And it wasn't like you're like, oh, this is just a shitty Beatles. No, you're like, this is a different good Beatles.
Yeah.
This is another Beatles.
Yes.
Lesser Beatles, but different.
Yes.
So good.
Okay, so what happens in this game is the bottom three couples don't get a rose for the next rose ceremony, and the winners, so the couple who wins will get the date, and the winning woman in that pair will choose who gets roses at the next rose ceremony, which is pretty major.
I love it.
That's a lot of power to give one person.
I love it.
Okay, so our highlights with this game are Jeremy and Bailey with the unread text messages. She has over 850.
Yeah.
You know,
respect.
Who's competing with her?
You.
Uh-huh.
How many do you have?
Oh,
You have like 10,000 or something.
I think I have broken 1,000. However, they are mainly in WhatsApp.
Okay.
Because I barely open
Your group
WhatsApp.
texts. A lot
It's
of group
texts in WhatsApp.
You don't like group texts.
Specifically.
It's a
I don't want
protest.
people thinking that I don't reply to my texts. I don't reply to all of my texts. I'm not great about
By the way,
it.
Sharleen doesn't reply to me most of the time. So, you know.
I'm just not on my phone a lot.
No.
I have a very healthy boundary relationship
No,
with
it's
my
amazing.
phone.
I respect it. It also is very inconvenient for me sometimes, but I respect it mostly. Like sometimes I'll be like sitting in the living room, like, oh my God, I got to tell her this is so important. I got to text her. So I'm texting you. And then I start hearing a vibrating next to me. I'm like, oh.
Kim and Faith, she spends less than $25 a week on beauty and maintenance. He got this wrong. The number of times Leia has faked an orgasm. I love this when she was like, I don't lie. I love Leia. She's really growing. She's getting to show her personality. Parisa and Brian, they do very poorly. Now that I've seen to the end of the episode, it's so fitting that Brian has no idea what a wedding or engagement ring costs. And I'm not saying a wedding has to be over 45,000 or whatever the number was, or an engagement ring has to be over 15,000, but it just feels sort of symbolic of Brian, who I think is nowhere in the universe of being ready for a real partnership.
No.
This is not a man who wants a an equal, someone to support him and who he wants to support, someone who's just like there for him emotionally. Like, as we see throughout this episode, I think Brian is super avoidant. And I think that he doesn't, I don't want to say he doesn't respect women. It's really a harsh thing to say, but he definitely is extremely immature when it comes to women. And I think knowing his own emotions and what he could offer and gain in a true partnership.
Yeah. I think Brian is in his full player phase.
Yes.
And he has not had a difficult time with women.
Yeah,
for
but
better or
the
worse.
only reason Brian has not had a difficult time with women is because no men are having a difficult time with
No
women.
men are having a difficult time with women.
This is the era of men behaving the worst and getting everything.
Yeah, but Charlene, if I was a dog, I would want to eat Sundays.
Yes.
You know why?
Why?
Because Sundays has actual real foods in it that you can pronounce and that you would delight in eating.
As a human.
As a human.
Yes.
I will list some of them now. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Chicken, egg, oat, pumpkin, kale, fish, flaxseed, parsley, turmeric, chicory root, kelp,
Good, Andy.
ginger, blueberries.
You're doing great.
I didn't get to the good part. Carrots, apples, tomatoes, shiitake mushrooms, broccoli, oranges, cranberries,
Wow.
spinach, beets, cherries, strawberries.
Wow.
They saved strawberries for last.
Isn't that incredible? That list of ingredients, we would eat all of those. How cool is it that that human grade food is meant for dogs? And what makes it extra cool is that Sundays is air dried. So you can see, I have our canister here. This is how we use it in our kitchen. And you can kind of see that it looks kibble-ish, like it's large pieces. You can break it up to smaller pieces. I mean, Ruby's very tiny, obviously, so that's what we do. We break it up into tiny pieces and put it in a feeding mat, so it takes her a really long time. It works in your life like kibble does, so it's convenient, but it doesn't have the ingredient list that kibble has, which is really gross because, I mean, kibble, have you ever read those ingredient lists?
No, I don't want to read it.
No.
I don't want to read it because I like dogs.
Yeah.
And Ruby is the proof in the pudding.
Yes.
Beautiful coat. Wonderful attitude about life.
Great poops.
Great poops.
Excellent poops.
Excellent poops.
Yes. And she loves it.
She loves pooping. Oh, you mean, yeah, and Sundays. So get 40% off your first order of Sundays.
Go to sundaysfordogs.com/Shandy or use code Shandy at checkout.
Squarespace.
Yes, Sandy. Squarespace. We always sing Squarespace because they deserve a song because they are your platform for building a beautiful website with little to no design experience. Is that not worthy of song?
It deserves song. Words don't do justice.
Indeed, and we would know because dearshandy.com was built with Squarespace. You can go check it out for yourself. My singing website, charlenejoint.com, built with Squarespace. My blog, which is where this podcast came from, alltheprettypandas.com, is built on Squarespace. And even our wedding website, shandy.nyc, built on Squarespace. I mean, why would we go anywhere else?
Why would you? Building a website is an unbelievable pain in the ass.
It totally is, but Squarespace somehow makes it palatable with their beautiful templates. You choose from one of their templates, and they even help you narrow it down based on what your website's purpose will be. And then you can plug and play your information, your graphics, your photography, what have you. And then they have these awesome features that help narrow it down and really make the website yours. So let's say you want to have scheduling. You provide a service that needs to be scheduled. Let's say you want to have mailing lists or a blog or do e-commerce. We do e-commerce on dearshandy.com, so you can go check it out. That's where our merch sells, and all through Squarespace. I mean, how cool.
So go to squarespace.com/Shandy for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code Shandy for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Again, that's squarespace.com/Shandy for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use code Shandy to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Brian has what gives you the upper hand nowadays, which is confidence. Like every man has the upper hand now because dating apps have ruined everything.
Yeah.
They flipped the playing field upside down.
Yeah.
But Brian has a lot of confidence. Can we agree on that?
I mean, I don't even want to give him that, but you're right. He has.
I'm not saying it's like
in a good way.
Positive.
No,
I'm not saying he's a good person with his
right.
confidence. I'm saying Brian has
but doesn't
a lot of confidence.
Doesn't the confidence though feel misplaced because like it's coming from the fact that he probably gets girls easily, but he doesn't really deserve it because we're in that era that I mentioned.
Look, the guy sucks in many ways, but give him credit where credit's deserved. He has true confidence. Okay, it doesn't have anything to do with anything except him. He is a confident guy.
Right down to the fact, I'll give you this, right down to the fact that in that opening video where he's like rubbing his abs, even that, he's just like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, he does what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And he is used to having women fall in his lap more than even other guys now.
Yeah.
So
because of the confidence.
he feels like there's nothing that's going to cause him to lose Parisa unless he chooses to lose her.
It does feel like.
Yeah. So he's like anything he doesn't like. And he's also not fully aware of the cameras, I think. I don't think he's really, which is good TV.
But also maybe he's so confident that he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
I can
That's
picture
part of
Brian
confidence.
being the kind of contestant who watches this back, gets tons of hateful comments.
Doesn't care.
He's probably getting DMs, like horrible DMs.
Brags to his friends. He's like, look at all this hate I'm getting. Isn't this cool?
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, look, I'm a big player on this show.
Right. And because of that, he is just telling her every single thing he doesn't like. He's like, I don't like this. He's like, you know what he's like? He's like a really like a not nice person who goes to a fancy restaurant and expects like they're like the king. And it's like, I don't like this
I'm paying a lot for this.
Yeah, usually the fork should be straight.
Yeah.
Like the salad fork and the main fork should be straight.
Yeah, it's like the people who, when they're spending a lot on something, act like, okay.
I'm the king.
Yes.
Like, service me.
Service me. I mean, this guy. You can go to City Hall. It's not really about the cost of the wedding and the engagement ring for me. It's more that his concept of the expense of these things. It's like, for me, I'm focused on the connection between his disbelief at why you would spend that kind of money on like love.
Right.
Like this guy doesn't value love. He doesn't.
I would say that it's not that he doesn't value love per se. I think it's that he values Brian way more than anything.
I agree with that. Okay, so Jeremy and Bailey, how much she has spent on a gift? Higher or lower than $350? Andy, you guessed correctly for this.
Yeah.
Which was higher.
She's an influencer. She's gone hog wild on gifts.
Gary and Leslie now. Okay, oh my God. He blows, I don't know what he was thinking. He blows half his chips on the number of times Leslie thinks they should have sex in a week. It's higher or lower than 5.
Okay. First of all, why is Leslie having this much sex? Like, this is ridiculous. It's too much.
Yeah. Well, they were smart to make it 5. That number is sort of like.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Well, we also have to bear in mind.
But also, come on. Are you talking about like in the first week of a relationship?
I don't know.
What is this? Who does that?
So he says higher than 5, and she's like, no, it's lower. Her number was 4.
I think we have to talk about what stage of the relationship this is at.
But I also think we have to bear in mind that the answers people are giving, they know, right? Don't they know that this will be aired on TV in some capacity?
Right.
Like, for example, there was one about Kat where it was like, how much should you spend on your date on their birthday?
Right. It's almost like they're humble bragging.
Exactly. Like, is Kat really going to be like, yeah, it should be over $350?
Right. Or how many guys I've slept with. No woman's going to be like, oh, I've slept with 100 guys. Obviously, they're going to want to downplay it.
That's the thing. I feel like the numbers, you have to hedge your answers based on the fact that the person answered knowing someone would see it. It wasn't like a lie detector test.
Well, that's why it's like meta.
Yes.
You're basically answering based on what you think that person wants America to see them as.
Exactly. Exactly.
But let's get to the more important point, is how stupid Gary is. This man is an absolute moron.
Could it be almost endearing how...
It is endearing.
It's
and
endearing.
I use moron. I use moron as a term of endearment.
Yes.
I have never seen anything, and I used to have a gamble. I was a gambler. I had a little, I like gambling.
Yeah, but I think you should downplay that.
No, I wasn't like, it wasn't like I was in Gamblers Anonymous level. I like gambling a little. I like gambling a little too much.
Andy went through a phase in his early 20s where he was into gambling on like horses.
And casinos. And anything, pretty much.
And now he gambles by not wearing a cardigan on a day where you should clearly have a sweater.
I do only non-monetary gambles, and I enjoy them.
He gambles with parking spots.
Parking spots, everything.
And it's nonsensical. It does not make any sense to me. I'm like, your parking spot is perfectly good. He's like,
but
I think I can get better.
You know what? I enjoy it.
Okay.
No one gets hurt.
Sure.
If I fail, it's a low level.
You end up losing the good parking spot you had.
But it's not. I've eliminated the sickness.
Okay.
The sickness, which is the rush of dopamine for money. Money is not part of my gambling anymore.
Okay.
Money is irrelevant.
It's just being cold.
That's correct. So Gary did something that is so dumb that I don't even understand how to articulate it coming from someone who has gambled somewhat. he literally, all he had to do, I'm trying to think of an analogy. This is The Price is Right. Okay. In The Price is Right, let's say, okay, you can't go over the price, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, da-na-na. Wait, what's the song? Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na.
Yeah.
Okay, and now we have a pencil. A number 2 pencil, unsharpened, straight out of the case.
Yeah.
Do we have any bids?
Yes.
And everyone bids $5,000.
Uh-huh.
All you got to do is say a penny.
Yes.
And you're done.
Yes.
Gary bid like
$8,000.
Yeah. He's an idiot.
Yeah. It made no sense.
What the hell is wrong with him?
I love how Leslie was like, I'm not even a gambler and I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand what he was thinking.
Yeah, you could not know how to add 2 plus 2.
Yeah.
You could have never placed a bet in your life.
Okay, so for anyone who didn't watch the show, because we have to discover a lot of our Shandys don't watch the show, which I find so cute. But basically, he bet half their chips. They were in the top 3 couples. He bet half their chips and then got it wrong. There was no need for him to do that. He only had to bet 1 chip and they still would have been top 3. They would have been very, very
And he had
safe.
no chance of winning.
That's the thing.
He would have had to bet everything to even tie, and then they'd go to a tiebreaker with Jeremy and Bailey.
Yeah, Jeremy had already bet. Sorry, I'm explaining this poorly. It's
Everyone
a recap.
knows. They've watched it. They've watched it.
Yeah,
no,
but some people don't. But for the people who didn't watch it, Jeremy bet all their chips, and so he did a huge gamble.
Jeremy had 36 chips. Gary had 18.
Yes.
And all he had to do was bet anything under
1.
5,
just 1.
basically.
Yeah.
1, anything. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Mm-hmm. It's not win, play, show. It's not like he gets money for coming in 3rd or 2nd.
No.
It's either you're going forward or you're finished.
Yes.
Or you win.
Yeah.
He had no chance of winning.
Yes.
He bet half his money.
Yes.
Stupidest thing you could have done.
It was really, honestly, it was sort of endearing.
It was
And he was
endearing.
like, I really did a stupid thing.
It was endearing. It made me like Gary more. But it also made me not trust Gary in many situations where I would have to work with him. Yeah, if I had to work with Gary in like a situation of any kind, I would not trust him.
I think Gary's more of like he's like a more spiritual, like
he's a preacher man.
Yeah, he's a feelings-based person. He's not the kind of person who's like thinking about the number of chips and then that I can win if I do this and blah, blah, blah. Like he might have had stars in his eyes for $500,000, but he didn't have the goods. I almost relate to this because I'm not really a numbers person either. Like he wasn't like thinking like a calculator.
So what would you have done in this situation?
I mean, I would have bet 1 chip, but I'm also
You know who else would have bet 1 chip? Ruby.
Yeah, Gary. Oh, sweet, sweet Gary.
No.
So our bottom couples, the ones at risk of going home, are Kim and Faith, Brian and Parisa, and Gary and Leslie for no good reason. And Bailey will decide which women get roses from those 3. Okay, so Bailey and Jeremy go on their date.
Yeah.
What did you think of this date, Andy?
I don't know what to make of Jeremy anymore because if I didn't know about the things he said off camera or on camera, whatever, the other things he said, I would assume this is a good relationship. I would assume these guys are the best relationship in paradise.
I know. I want to ship them, but it's hard when we've seen the preview footage and we've heard what he said about Susie and his regrets about not giving his rose to Susie.
I'll say this: if I always put myself in the shoes of these people, and if you were the person, I always put myself in their shoes, and you're always the person.
Oh,
that's
really?
Easy.
That's
you don't
cute.
do that with me? No.
I don't think I put myself in their shoes as often as you do.
Really?
Yeah, it's not really how I think.
Oh.
Yeah, but I like how you do that.
That's the only way I can think. You have to have empathy. Are you a psychopath?
No, I think I have empathy, but I think I don't know how to. I don't. You're right. I should put myself in their shoes more often. Go on, make your
always
point.
Put yourself in other people's shoes.
You're right. No, I do in general, but when it comes to recapping, I don't know if I have to put myself in their shoes to be like, that was clearly.
Oh,
like
you think it's so
call.
obvious that you don't have to go into the shoes?
Well, I do like this about you. You really like humanize the person, and even with Jeremy a couple of weeks ago, you were like, at that age, going through what I went through. She goes on the date with Andrew. Like I also would have this tantrum. I think though. For me, I have more of like a standard of behavior that rises above that.
I agree with it. And I agree with your methodology.
It's a standard of like hypocrisy.
It's a good methodology.
Yeah.
For me, I know that I'm a fragile, weak person.
Oh, no.
And I have a lot of flaws. And I know that I'm also a good person.
Yeah.
And sometimes I look at myself like, wow, you're really a good person. Then sometimes I look at myself like, wow, you're a piece of shit. So I see both sides in people, and I see Jeremy as someone that I've seen a million times before. There are thousands of Jeremys that I've run across in my life.
I don't know if Jeremy would like that.
No, not exactly Jeremy, but that sort of taste, that flavor.
The flavor.
The essence
Jeremy.
of Jeremy, I have seen a million times. People think Jeremy's an outlier, like he's some sort of crazy scumbag.
Yeah.
They are so wrong. There are so many Jeremys out there. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get that out of the way first.
So get your head out of the clouds.
Yeah. Jeremy is a common man.
Okay.
He's not some wild Ted Bundy lunatic.
Oh no.
So but that being said, if I was Jeremy.
Mm-hmm. If you were Jeremy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, wife. Thank
I'm annoying.
You. And I said the things to Brian that I said in that room about Susie.
Yeah.
And you were Bailey.
Yeah.
There'd be something wrong. There's
you kidding me?
way.
Like, of course.
There's no way I would do that.
Yeah.
So my issue here is that Jeremy seems two-faced. On the one hand, he clearly would have preferred Susie, and he's made that known to several people. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, when he's with Bailey, it seems great.
Yes.
And all the things he says are great. So there's two possibilities here.
Yeah.
One is Jeremy's just a guy who likes his cake and eat it.
100%.
Likes to have his cake and eat it too.
Yes, I think Jeremy is very clearly that person.
And he does that with everything. And he actually has a good thing with Bailey, and it's going to work out.
Yeah.
The other possibility is that he's a complete psycho.
No, yeah, I think it's the first. I don't think Jeremy is.
No, and he's not. That's what I'm saying. He's not a psycho.
No, I think Jeremy wants to have his cake and eat it too, right down to the fact that I think the week Susie left, I think one of the reasons he felt secure in giving his rose to Bailey was because he knew Justin would be giving his rose to Susie, and that he thought Susie would be accepting it. So some other people commented this, and I think they're totally right. It was a couple weeks ago now. You know, the boys are all talking. Yeah. They're all like in cahoots with each other. They're all friends with each other. And I think that he was like, oh, well, Susie's staying no matter what. So I get to look good and give Bailey my rose. And Susie's still going to stick around. I still get to kind of like see that through passively. And anyway, this date, as much as it was sort of like feel good and they seemed kind of secure, and even the wording, it was the wording like this, where he was like, he says he's more attracted to someone the more he gets to know them. And it just feels so general. Mm. It would be different to me if it were more, I'm more attracted to you the more I get to know you. It's when it's a sort of blanket statement. You take the you out of it and it becomes general. Right. That I'm like, it feels like he's already mitigating. Mm. You know what I mean? It's less committal. By not talking about her specifically, he's talking about in general, he's like this. Mm. And then Bailey has no choice but to reply in kind by saying, oh yeah, I like to be a bright light for my partner. Not for you. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. It's like the one foot is out the door already with these two. Anyway, so as much as, you know, they see the fireworks, they're making out, it's supposed to be all cute. It's hard to ship these two because I just think Bailey is an absolute gem. And Jeremy doesn't, I think, appreciate her. I think Jeremy's the kind of guy who would unfortunately appreciate Bailey to the full extent that she should be appreciated only when she fell in love with someone else who fell in love with her.
I agree with that.
Only when she's no longer available to him.
Yeah, well, this is why I think Jeremy, despite all his other, forget about all his other personality traits. Uh-huh. He's a cake and eat it too guy.
Yes. Grass is greener.
Yes. And this is manifesting itself in Bailey. He likes Bailey.
He does. There's nothing wrong.
I think he's going to end up with Bailey. I just think in the early stages of dating, he wants everyone. Yes. Everyone who's available. He's like, oh, she's hot. She's great. Yeah. I want this one. Everyone.
He's young. You have to remember these guys, they are at the precipice of their like in the city. Okay. Jeremy's in New York City. And where's Brian? I know he's from New Jersey. Is he in New Jersey?
He's but these guys, you know,
anyway, anywhere you go, these guys are just like, they're able to do this until their late 30s, at which point they're like, oh shit, maybe I should like.
I gotta settle down.
So, maybe all their friends are starting to have kids and they're like, oh.
Yeah.
But I think that it's a type of guy, right? And there's a lot of them. I think you're right about that. Okay, there was one funny thing that happens here on this date is where Jeremy references the Goldens going on monologues. He says the Goldens are annoying. This wasn't nice.
It wasn't that nice.
It wasn't nice, but they do show a really funny clip of Gary back at Paradise going on some rant about Keith about like finding himself. What was this about?
I don't know. It was nothing. It was a bunch
Being
of
there for
word
himself.
salad.
Smile and be happy and inspire and motivate and help people. Well, but I gotta help myself first.
And I don't know what that means. You know, only you can go home tonight and look in the mirror and do it.
This made me fall in love with Keith. Okay, so in the evening at Paradise, now we have Brian and Parisa. Okay, so Parisa has been feeling not great about their relationship since the VIP suite. Isn't that funny that winning that prize, the VIP suite,
turned it for them? It
did. Didn't it feel like they were just sort of coasting along? They were probably hooking up quietly on the side. And suddenly it comes to focus and doesn't it feel like he's punishing her?
They got too much private time together.
Do you think so?
Yeah, he got to know her too well.
Off camera, you mean?
Yeah.
So then it wasn't special. The VIP suite didn't feel special.
Yeah, she became familiar.
And then he wanted to just like make out when she was like, what's your favorite color? Let's be honest. He threw a tantrum.
Yeah.
Never recovered. I think the dynamic that comes about between these two in this episode is anxious from her, avoidant from him, and they just make each other worse.
Yeah, but that's because they spend quality time together. If you spend quality time together, it should strengthen the relationship if you like the person.
So true.
For her, it did. But she actually does like Brian.
Too much.
I genuinely believe she has real feelings. No, he doesn't deserve it.
No.
But Brian does not like Parisa anymore. He likes her a little. He wants to have some fun with her.
Yeah.
But clearly he doesn't like her. But he's conflicted because he wants to be on the show.
Yeah.
He wants to stay on the TV.
He needs Parisa.
He needs Parisa, but he doesn't want Parisa.
So this conversation, he says, I've had past partners that overly seek for reassurance to the point where it's driven me away. He says, I personally do not need to be verbally reassured, and I think you over communicate. And then of course we see a montage of her complimenting him, and I think it's super sweet. She's like, you have such nice eyes, you have such nice skin. Like she's complimenting him. And then he says, don't dump it all at once.
Wow. Yeah.
And she's like,
Cold.
Okay. And he says, there's a smothering aspect to it that will turn me off. He doesn't say that will turn me off. He says that will turn me off. This guy.
It's mean.
I found this to be nasty.
Mean.
Yeah.
Look,
if you think about what we're talking about, which is her complimenting him, her like building him up. Like, I understand that. I do think he's having an avoidant reaction. She's being really, is creating anxiety in her. But if you think about what the thing is that he's annoyed by, it's her complimenting him.
And that's what you get annoyed by when you don't like someone. And what's not fair, and I don't want to put it all on Brian because they are stuck in a phone booth together. They're forced in there and they have to be there. And because of that, he dislikes the things he dislikes about her more than he should. And she likes the things about him that she likes more than she should because of his dislike of her.
Oh, you think that she's more drawn to him because he's
anxiously attached.
Yeah.
He is being forced into this relationship. He's not. He's choosing it.
Yeah.
But the TV situation is forcing him to do this because he wants to stay on the show.
Yeah, but he would have checked it. I do feel like in real life, this guy.
He would have checked out.
He is so not going on another date with this girl. He's over it.
He's over it.
Yeah.
But he's letting himself be forced into this, right? He could leave the show, but he's not going to leave the show. So let's assume he's not leaving the show. The only way he stays on the show is if he stays with Parisa.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like Parisa. But Parisa likes him a lot. And she keeps telling him. And since he doesn't really like her, she senses that. And since she's anxiously attached, she gives him more and more and more compliments and is more smothering, as he said, probably correctly, because someone who doesn't like someone and is being liked too much by that person is being smothered.
I have to admit, in my dating days, if I wasn't that into a guy, like let's say I was sort of like on the fence, like, oh, okay, I'll go on a second date. Okay, I'll go on a third date. You're sort of still feeling it out. If he's giving me a lot of compliments, he's really coming on strong.
It gives you the ick.
It does. It does repel you.
Yes.
But what
it feels motherly.
Oh, you mean in this dynamic?
It feels parental.
Okay.
It doesn't feel romantic. It feels like they're like, oh, you're a good boy.
Oh, see, I don't know about parental. I think I can see it feeling that way if you're a man, and the woman, it feels mothery. But I actually think from a woman's perspective, I'm trying to think, it feel like when a guy is like compliment, if he feels like needy and like cloying. Like it doesn't feel, I wouldn't say
Cloying.
It feels like, ugh. So Andy, this week I actually messaged my doctor.
Did they want you to?
It was through like the portal, the patient portal. I just had a question and the doctor replied, and the whole thing was extremely legit. But the reason I'm mentioning this is because this doctor was super legit. She was with Mount Sinai.
Oh,
Yes.
the Sinai.
The portal was through Mount Sinai. I found her on ZocDoc. She's my OBGYN. I booked my first ever appointment a couple years ago through ZocDoc based on the fact that she took my health insurance, which is major, based on her location, which is important, based on her incredible ratings from other patients like myself, and based on the fact that I could quite literally, with a tap of a few buttons, select an available time for a physical at the time. And now, all these years later, I'm still her patient, and to the point where I'm able to message her.
Wow.
And hopefully it was not that unwelcome.
I had a ZocDoc story, but yours was too long. No, I can't tell mine. All I can say is that ZocDoc has been a true friend.
It is a potential legit lifesaver.
It's 100% a lifesaver.
Yes.
We have talked about this. It's no question has saved lives.
Yes. And their dashboard is everything. It keeps track of the appointments you've had. So let's say 14 months have passed since your last physical. It'll be like, hey, 14 months have passed since your last physical. It's just so nice to have your hand held slightly. It's like having parents when you are an adult.
Yes.
Just someone keeping track of this stuff. Because, we have enough to think about. So ZocDoc is the free app and website where you can search and compare high quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment.
So stop putting off those doctor's appointments. Go to ZocDoc.com/Shandy to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/Shandy, ZocDoc.com/Shandy. But this is what gets me about Brian, which I can't stand, is if you're not that into her, then be honest about that. Don't make it her fault. So in this case, he's like, you're doing this. You're giving me too many compliments. Don't do this. It's over. Like, he's making it her fault when he is equally, if not more so, contributing. He's way more than halfway contributing to this dynamic.
Yes.
Where she's the honey badgering. I'm going to link, actually, we have an amazing episode with Eli Hardwood, an expert in attachment styles. And actually, one of the few examples I've seen of someone who had an anxious attachment style and her now husband had an avoidant attachment style, and they actually overcame that, and now they're happily married for a long time. They have kids, all the things. But it's hard to not look at this dynamic, and I know Brian and Priest clearly don't belong together, but it's hard to look at that dynamic and not be like, oh, this doesn't work. It clearly should not work.
Yeah, and I don't think Brian's the type of guy who's afraid to break up with women. I think Brian's broken up with a lot of women, and he's done it with ease.
Yeah.
Parisa would be broken up with by now.
Yeah.
But since he's still there, he has
but don't make it sound like he's being honest. And this is what gets me, is
I
that
know.
He's like, I'm just being honest. I'm telling you this so that you know. I know it's hard to hear. It's like, if you were actually honest, if we're going to use the H word, honesty, you would say, I'm not that into you.
But he can't
I know,
say
he
that.
wants money. He wants money.
He can't say that. So he's forced to be mean. And I'm not saying he's forced. He's not forced to do anything.
Yeah.
But he has decided he wants to stay on the show.
Yes.
Therefore, he has to play the game.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he now has to be mean.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't like being liked by someone he doesn't like.
Yeah.
No one does like to be overly liked by someone they don't like.
Isn't it so awful? I see her. She's like, what did I do? What went wrong? What was the moment? That's how you know it's so not right. Can
Right.
you imagine? Like, if I think back to dating days, like that feeling, you're like, clearly I did something. Like something happened. The tides turned. Like there was a shift. And when you're like spinning your wheels, it's such an unhealthy position to be in, where you're punished for something you're not even sure you did. You don't know what happened. In this case, I don't think she did anything
She's been
wrong.
punished for kindness.
She has been. And for wanting, I think, to maintain last week some semblance of privacy in the BIP suite. I think that the reason she asked for his favorite color or whatever was because she didn't just want it to be them hot and heavy making out the whole time.
Look, you could make a case, if you really wanted to play devil's advocate, that Brian's trying to preserve the relationship by putting his foot down early, saying, listen, this is the stuff that I don't like. I
well,
really
that's what he
value
would
this.
say.
Yes, this is, I'm Brian now.
Yeah.
He's like, I really value this relationship.
Yeah.
I believe in this. I really like you. And for that reason, I want you to know, I don't like being compliment bombed all the time. I don't like feeling like, there's this anxiety. These are the things I don't like.
Yeah.
So because I value this so much, I want you to know now so we don't screw it up later.
But his delivery, this is where it gets me.
No, but he's mean.
Yeah, he was mean about it.
He's insensitive. He clearly is like kind of repulsed by the situation.
It almost felt like he was like, this is what you need to do so I'm not so I'm able to get to the end of the show with you.
Yeah.
If I didn't feel like I really like you as a human being.
No, he's like, play along.
Yeah, he's
play
like,
the
this
game.
is, if you want me to be nice to you, you got to do this.
Yeah.
Ugh, this guy.
No good.
Ugh.
No good.
Okay, well, on to greener pastures, Andy. Kim and Faith are making out.
Kim and Faith.
They're
Who would have
cute.
guessed?
Okay, it's the next day. They are shockingly cute together, Kim and Faith. He says kissing is fun. Or was it her that said this?
I think he said it.
It's cuter.
That's a Kim thing to
it's
say.
It's so cute if he says it. It's
Yeah.
cute if she says it too, but if Kim says kissing is fun. I love his ITM tagline. It says, at full mast.
Good.
That person
Good
deserves a
taglines.
raise.
The
whoever's doing
tagline
that.
guy is good.
Okay, and now there's a man chat about strategy going on. Jeremy is sort of the, what do you call him? He's the king of the castle right now. He's the
Yes.
Don.
The Don Jeremy.
Don
Corleone.
Jeremy. He's got his minions around him, his Dale, his Sean. At some point, Brian comes in and he's enjoying it. Jeremy
is.
likes being in control.
He does.
There's a fun reference now when Brian arrives to their car moment on night 1 of Jen's season. I confess I completely forgot about this.
Me too.
So it was Jeremy was showing off his red Corvette to Jen.
His Corvette? I guess it was
His.
just a Corvette.
I mean, Jeremy he lives in New York. He wasn't
Why
flying
is this
his
Corvette in
over.
California?
Yeah. So,
Maybe he drove there.
but Brian, I think, takes the car. Well, I forget exactly what happened. But
He
Brian
was in the car
dick.
with Jen, and Brian came. I'm taking over here. Give me the keys or something.
Who was the dick in that situation?
It was Brian.
Was it?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, I'm just trying to remember
Yeah.
because it's hard. They both have their dick moments.
No, but that was before Jeremy became a dick.
Okay. Pre-dick Jeremy. Jeremy is clearly feeling very confident. This annoys Brian. Brian in his ITM says, given what Jeremy has said about Bailey, he feels that he's got dirt on Jeremy. He says, I don't respond well to threats. Maybe he should tread lightly. I gotta say, these two guys, it's so interesting because usually when you have this battle between two kind of juggernauts on a season, you like one. So one is the protagonist and one is the antagonist. But in this case, they're both antagonists because they're both so unlikable in their own ways.
Right. So who do you dislike more?
Exactly. Who do you dislike more?
I think Jeremy's the more likable villain.
It's so hard. It's so hard to choose because on one hand, I do not like how Brian treats Parisa, but I do like how Brian is Team Bailey. Like, I like that he seems to like Bailey and think that she deserves to know.
Wait a minute. But what about Parisa, who's literally on his team? Why is he not nice to her?
I guess what I'm saying is like, I know, but let me finish my thought. I appreciate that he's like, Bailey's a really awesome girl. She doesn't deserve to be betrayed in this way. I don't think Brian sees himself as like betraying Parisa. I think he's like, that's like a separate thing, how he treats Parisa.
Right.
But I do think that he feels that Bailey should be protected against, unless it's just for image. You can always take that into account. Meanwhile, Jeremy, I don't feel like his beef with Brian has anything to do with how Parisa deserves to be treated better.
I agree.
I
agree
think
with that.
Jeremy just likes being on top.
Well, he also still feels sore about the Corvette situation.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Do you really think that that's a factor here?
I mean, I remember that was a big deal back then.
That was a big deal.
Yeah.
That Corvette scene that we forgot about. Oh, anyway, all I'm saying is that it's fascinating to watch these two guys who are both villains, two villains hashing it out.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Because you're not really rooting for one or the other. You're kind of like just eating popcorn.
But you eventually do root for one. You have to. It's human nature.
I don't know who I'm rooting for. That's what's so interesting.
Well, if two villains in a movie
the
are
lesser?
fighting, you have to root for one of them.
I know, but
You
I
don't
haven't
root for both of
decided.
them to
I haven't
die.
decided.
Yeah.
I do think that Jeremy is like more colder and more removed. Like he owns his villainy better.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't think Brian realizes he's a villain.
But remember, who's being nicer to the person they're with? Yes, behind her back, Jeremy is saying things that are not good.
Yeah, but at least...
But has Jeremy done anything to her face that has been wrong?
Yeah, but behind her back, he's like... I didn't like how he treated her when she went on a date with Andrew.
Oh, that was terrible.
It was
You're right.
awful.
That was terrible.
They're both,
I forgot about that already.
They're both terrible.
They're both terrible.
Okay, so now we have our rose ceremony cocktail party. Parisa confronts Brian about treating everyone else differently than he is treating her. She says, I don't want to feel ignored. Meanwhile, Brian, this is what gets me. He's like, no, I'm in like strategy mode. We have to stay on the show. And like, dude, you don't need to do strategy mode. The reason why you're staying on the show is not because of your strategy. It's because the girl you're with is friends with Bailey.
Yes, that's right.
I feel like he was just using this as an excuse. Was he really worried about leaving?
No.
He was projecting because I think he's in strategy mode. So if he were in Jeremy's shoes, he would kick them off.
Correct. 100%.
If Brian wins next week, he is fully getting rid of 100%. Jeremy and Bailey.
I thought it was very kind of Jeremy and Bailey not to get rid of
Well, it was
Brian.
Bailey. She's friends with Parisa. Jonathan, this is interesting. Kat and Jonathan are talking about his relationship with Leia. And he's like, oh no, I'm not into Leia romantically. And Kat's like, really? Like, I thought you were. And she's like, does Leia know? And he says, she definitely knows.
Definitely. 100%.
Jonathan is such a waffler. He's such a waffler. He says what sounds the best coming out of his mouth in that exact moment. He doesn't think ahead. He doesn't think behind. He's just like, oh yeah, she definitely knows. It sounds best for me to say this.
The problem with this show, I mean, we're just beating around the bush here. The problem with this show is it's been around long enough. What is it, 10 seasons now?
Yeah, but this is a different dynamic now with the competition.
No, but I'm saying it's been around long enough that people really just want to stay on this show.
Yeah.
It's become
wrong reasons, baby.
The wrong reasons. It's incredibly apparent. Everybody except maybe Spencer and Jess and I don't know.
Oh.
Who else?
Spencer and Jess.
I mean, it's obvious. Is it not
Jenser.
obvious? Jenser. I don't see.
Spess.
Spess. It's Spess.
Jenser's better.
Yeah, Jenser's not a great one. But everyone wants to stay on the show.
Yeah.
That's the primary objective. If you happen to find love along the way, great. Mm-hmm. But everyone wants to stay on the show. With that in mind, everyone's acting abnormally.
Abnormally.
Right?
Yeah,
it's not just about cameras. But in the old days, we do like when I first started doing these recaps, I'd be like, well, they're acting differently because of the cameras.
Yeah.
That's obvious. It's reality TV. You have to accept that, yes, people are going to act a little differently because of cameras.
Yeah. Are we acting differently because of cameras, Andy?
I think so. I don't know, actually.
Yeah, it's sort of hard. When
anymore.
you're in your living room, it's a little different.
It's hard to tell. But they are not just acting differently because of the cameras. They're acting differently because the show's been around long enough. It's a franchise. It's like it's an empire.
Yeah.
You want to stick around. It's in your best interest to stick around as long as possible.
Okay.
And that corrupts everyone's feelings. Look at Brian. Brian wouldn't still be with Parisa.
Yeah.
He would have moved on.
Yeah.
Jonathan would have left day one. What is he doing there? He's just getting free drinks.
I know, but I just wish that he was more... It's the lack of honesty that gets me. Like, if he just said to Leia, it's the leading on. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, but honesty
maybe.
will get him off the show.
So we're just watching people...
I think we have to
lie.
accept that there are certain people, if not most of the people on the show,
Am
that
I
are
the one not
doing it
accepting
because
it?
they want to stay on the show.
Am I not accepting
I think
this
you're
one?
not accepting this. Accept it.
I know I'm holding people to the standard of behavior, and it's like,
And that's one of the
they're
reasons.
in a different universe.
That's one of the reasons why I don't necessarily judge as hard as I think some of our audience wants me to. This is with a guy like Jeremy or a guy like Brian. It's like, yes, on the surface, yes, they look like complete dicks.
Mm-hmm.
What he did with the date with Bailey and Andrew was ridiculous.
Yeah.
How Brian treated Parisa, obviously, is ridiculous,
Yeah.
terrible. But you have to look at it from the lens, literally through the lens of the show.
Yeah.
And these people are being put in an unnatural situation where the primary objective is to outlast. It's literally Survivor.
Yeah.
It's Survivor, and dating is irrelevant. It just happens along the way.
Isn't that funny? So on Survivor, it's less bothersome because it's not shrouded in this like falseness of romance. And
you're
like
all
finding
trying
love.
to screw each other and make money.
Yeah. And in fact, to the point where some people get eliminated and they're like, well played, guys.
Yeah. You screwed me well.
Yeah. But when you insert love into it and feelings and this.
It's contradictory.
Yeah. The premise that this is about love when it really isn't. Now it really isn't.
And then it makes people look like assholes.
Yeah.
And people who are sitting in the comfort of their living room watching the show on their couch are like, look at that guy. He is an absolute piece of shit. He's a narcissist. He's a psychopath.
Gaslighter.
He's gaslighting.
Yeah.
But the reality is that they are not acting normally in love. And I'm not saying that Brian in real life isn't the same POS that he is on this show. I'm not saying that Jeremy isn't a problematic person in real life too. I'm just saying that in the context of the show, you have to see it with a grain of salt.
But we're recapping.
This is part of the recap. It's the meta portion of the recap.
All I'm saying is that Jonathan says to Kat, I think Leia knows. Yeah, she definitely knows that we're just friends. And then Kat goes and reports this to Leia, which I thought was an interesting move, by the way, because I don't think Jonathan was expecting Kat to do that.
I know. Jonathan thinks he's a girl's girl.
Yeah.
But he's not.
He cannot beat the girl code.
No.
Speaking of codes. And then Leia's like, excuse me, I did not know this. And now she confronts Jonathan. And she's like, does he not want this to become more? And he's like, oh, yeah, 100%. I'm just not sure I feel a romantic connection. And she's like, do you feel that with anyone here? And he's like, no, not at all. And she's like, okay, that's fine. And he's like, oh, no, but maybe there's a chance or something. Like he always just keeps breadcrumbing. It's that. Just be honest. Be like, I'm going to be honest. This is purely platonic to me, but there's money at the end of this. And I think we have a real shot. I think that it chips away at someone's self-esteem to make them think that it's romantic when it's not. You're being duped. I see what you're saying, but I think it's possible to stay on this show and be more direct, be more authentic about it.
So go on the show and do that.
Did I shut you down just now?
No, I mean, it's a good point. I'm just saying that it's the show that makes people the way they are.
Okay,
I don't know if they're actually
this is
that
a
way.
hate the game, not the players situation. So now Jeremy and Bailey are being courted by the couples on the chopping block, namely Faith and Kim and Gary and Leslie. I thought this was really well edited, where it kind of went back and forth between the two. And this is, I think, where we see that Gary is there to play.
Oh, yeah.
Because while Kim and Faith are like, oh, we'd like to see how this goes, Gary is like, oh, you scratch our backs, we'll scratch yours.
Oh, he wants that sweet cash.
He even pulls when you reach this stage of life, it's hard to find this. I thought that
It's a sympathy card.
the sympathy card, he was doing the reciprocity card and the sympathy card.
Yeah, he's like, I don't have much time left.
This is my last chance.
Oh.
And I thought this was really interesting because I think this might have worked, or at least the reciprocity card might have worked if it were Jeremy making the decision. But Bailey, I love this about her.
So sweet.
She was like, I don't need you to scratch my back. I need you to be sincere. Brian sits Jeremy down while Godfather music plays. And this is where we get that famous shot of him saying Bailey's dope. Jeremy's a cold mother effer. And there's a bit of a cliffhanger here as they stare each other down. And that brings us now to our rose ceremony, Andy. Nothing new here except when Leia gives her rose to Jonathan, she says, you're welcome. I loved this.
She's great.
With a straight, she was like, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
She's
She
really
didn't
won us
crack-
over.
She did not crack a smile.
No. it's
I
great.
love her.
She's just amazing.
She is great TV.
Yeah.
This took balls to do this.
100%.
Like from our standpoint, we're like, oh, watching TV, eating popcorn. But to do that in the moment, she's not acting.
You know what? Leia is good in defeat. It's a good personality trait.
Yes.
She knows it's not working with Jonathan.
Yeah.
But she doesn't break down. She sees the humor in it.
Yeah. And she's like, okay, I see what this is.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it comes down to the final three, or the last three. And Bailey gives the 2 remaining roses to each Faith, who gives it to Kim, obviously, and Parisa. Obviously, she was going to give it to her friend.
Mm-hmm.
And she sends home Leslie and Gary, which is a little painful considering how preventable this was. They are leaving
dear.
quite literally because he gambled half of his chips for no reason.
Heartbreaking. Leslie is pisseth.
That is like a possible breakup level mistake.
But they're already broken up.
Oh, you think they're not? You don't think they're together anymore?
Like Gary and Leslie?
Yeah, in real
You're
life.
joking, right?
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
It does
Seriously?
not seem likely.
Please, that was a fraudulent relationship.
Fraudulent. I will say, I think the correct couple went home.
Yeah.
It's not that I think Brian and Parisa deserve to stay there, but I think that they'll provide better fodder as the season progresses. Meanwhile, Leslie and Gary, it was growing a little tiresome for me.
No.
I wasn't really buying it.
No.
That scene on the beach
No.
where they're walking and he draws love in the sand and then like draws them smiley faces.
Oh, is that you?
And I'm gonna do this.
Nice sand art.
I found it all just like a little clunky.
Performative.
But I like them both. I like Gary.
I like them both.
Yeah.
But they weren't a match.
No, I agree.
And Gary screwed Leslie out of a chance at $500,000. Or I guess 250. They don't talk about that, by the way.
Yeah, it's really 250.
It's really not 500.
Yeah. Well, I think there's going to be some sort of Bachelor Patty and choice at the end where they can either
take all the money.
Yes.
Oh,
I think it's
like
going to
it.
be like you agree to split the money, or you can try to take it. But if you both take it, neither of you get anything.
Interesting.
Brian is so taking it if he gets to the end.
100%.
He is so screwing her over.
You know what, though? I don't know if Jeremy would.
Really?
Yeah. And that's why Jeremy's less of a villain.
You think at the end, if it's Jeremy and
I think Jeremy
Bailey,
splits it, yeah.
he splits it with Bailey.
Yeah, he does. I think he does. Brian does not. Brian does not.
He's so not.
No.
You know, I have to admit, I don't know. I think I might agree
I think even
with
if
you.
Brian was in love with Parisa, he wouldn't split it with her.
So you think at the core, Brian is a worse
Oh,
person
Brian
than Jeremy?
yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Are you? But is it just because Jeremy's Jewish that you have a soft spot?
No.
Mm.
Maybe.
You can admit
No,
it.
I know. It's not that. I just know. I see into their souls.
Andy does have a way of seeing into souls. I will say.
Jeremy has more shame than Brian.
100%. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Although
He has more of a conscience.
he
I
has a
think.
funny way of showing it in the ITM room, calling Susie.
He's sloppy.
Yeah.
He's sloppy.
Okay, so now Jesse says, some of you have lingering interests in someone else, and soon you'll have the opportunity to explore that interest. This would be a lot more interesting to me if I thought Susie would be coming back, but I don't think she is.
Nah.
Susie would never.
No.
She's way too dignified.
Classy dame.
Now we have our preview with Jonathan. Sorry, I'm going to harp on Jonathan one more time. We see another shot of him saying to Leia, it's not 100% no. It's like, lucky you. You still have a shot with me.
If everyone on Earth died,
So you're saying
100% chance.
You're saying I have a chance. This bothers me.
Yeah.
But we'll move on. I get the point you're making. Okay, so Andy, that brings us to the end of the episode. Who is our episode MVP? You want to do a 1, 2, 3?
Hold on. And again, we could clarify here that MVP just means who created the best TV.
Oh, MVP is not most likable necessarily.
right.
It's the episode's MVP. Who made the episode better television?
Got it. All right.
1, 2, 3.
Brian.
Yeah.
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 Shoo in.
He's
Deliciously.
he is deliciously dislikable.
Yeah.
He is. Like, I'm sorry, he is. He made this episode single-handedly more interesting.
You know-
and not in a way that where I'm like, oh, that feels good. In a way where I'm like, oh.
Confidence. It's always confidence.
I have confidence in sunshine. Do you remember?
It's Mary Poppins.
Yeah. No, I have confidence in rain.
Sound of Music?
Yes.
Oh, it's always one of the two.
Yeah.
You love those musicals.
Well, you know, it's my era.
Anyway, why are we talking about this?
I don't know.
Oh, bad.
Confidence.
Very bad. Confidence. Okay. Confidence
Brian.
is the most critical word in all of this reality TV dating crap. If you have confidence, you make good TV no matter what you do.
Yeah.
If you suck, you make good TV. And if you're amazing, you make good TV.
Yes.
Confidence is the greatest trait a human can have for them and for the outside.
Yeah.
And
you need
Brian
humility.
has no.
Okay, I know, to be likable.
To let me tell you.
Which I know is not what we're talking
To
about.
be likable. I'm not saying confidence makes you the best person.
Yeah.
That is not what I'm saying. As a matter of fact, often confidence can make you a complete asshole.
I think confidence often rewards. It makes confident people get ahead in life when they're not necessarily the most deserving or good
Because
people
they
at all.
believe in themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, belief can get you places without
Yes.
much talent.
Yes.
But confidence makes a villain better.
Yeah.
Who wants a not confident villain?
No, it's true.
What is that?
Yeah,
Imagine that.
I can.
Imagine someone sucking without confidence.
Oh. Okay, so what's your point?
I don't know.
Okay. We're almost done, Andy.
Okay.
Okay, who's your A game winner?
Kim.
Oh, I support this.
Got to give it to him. The guy pulled out game.
He did, and he's kind of adorable when he's into
no
someone.
joke, no corny jokes.
Yeah.
No contrived speeches, no awkward silences. The guy just pulled it out.
He's like a different person.
Maybe when he doesn't genuinely like someone, he's all thumbs. He doesn't know what to say. He feels like he's supposed to be acting or something.
Yeah.
And he's a bad actor. But when he likes someone, he's good.
I do feel like he belongs with someone who also lost their partner.
I agree.
I feel weird saying that, but I do think that there's a shared weight. There's a gravity to your concept of love and sharing that loss. You could see even the way when he was talking to Nancy and also with Faith about their late partners. That's like a warm blanket for him. I just think that's like,
no, I think it's
sweet.
It's a beautiful thing. And,
It is.
And I hope that this works out. I really do.
Yeah, me too. I'm like totally shipping
Yeah.
Fim.
Keith. Yeah, Fim is better.
Okay, finally, Andy, who would we go for?
Do you want to guess? Or I'm going to guess for you, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to guess for you first. I think you are going back to Bailey.
You are correct.
Oh, I feel, but Parisa.
Eh,
What happened?
She's a little too cloying.
Andy.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, that was supposed to be a joke. And then it didn't land.
But no, let's unpack this for a second because this is interesting. You do think that Parisa, her anxious attachment,
I get this
surface here.
I get the slightest bit of a motherly vibe in a relationship. The
Okay.
slightest bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Okay, as someone who's married to you, I'm going to tell you right now that you kind of like a slight mothery vibe now and again.
Slight.
Meanwhile, I think the thing that has you a little like, is the anxiousness, the anxiety, the anxious attachment style
Yes.
that Parisa, let's be honest, it's coming out because of Brian, how he's treating her.
Yes. If Brian was treating her like a queen, it would not be there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Bailey is just more like chill. I think that you prefer a little chill.
Bailey seems much easier. I can relax. Don't have to
Yeah.
worry about anything.
Mm,
But I like Parisa.
I love
Parisa's
Parisa.
great.
Okay. You want to guess who I would go for?
Well, it's either Spencer or Andrew.
Yeah.
It's the only two
It's
left.
so- I'm really I'm having a hard time. It is not going well for me in the who we would go for
Yeah.
category.
And I'm going to guess Andrew.
Yes. Very good. I can't really put my finger on why it's not Spencer. I think that, him and Jess, because we haven't seen much development, it's just them being kind of like cute together.
Honestly, we haven't seen anything of Spencer. Anything
Yeah.
in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, not even like fun commentary, really. Meanwhile, watching Andrew and Alex kind of get to know each other and like learn, like kind of quiz each other on things they knew and how he remembered that her favorite food was lasagna,
Yeah.
which by the way is a very respectable favorite food.
Yeah, I don't think she's really going like out of bounds on that one.
Well, when I think about people don't usually say lasagna. But if you think about it, you get the layers.
Lasagna's a lot of people. I think a lot of people forget about lasagna when they talk about their
That's
favorite
what I'm
food.
saying. But
Yeah.
Alex doesn't. She doesn't forget
Yeah,
about it.
no,
Neither
she
does
remembers.
Andrew.
Never forget about
Yeah.
lasagna.
Yeah, Andrew remembers that she remembered lasagna.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good thing to remember.
Isn't that funny? That's what it's come down to. Like, what tips the scales? I'm like, he remembered her favorite food. He's now the guy I would go for.
I mean, I think the bottom line is you really love lasagna.
I do. Yeah, but I haven't been giving it the credit it deserves. And
I
now
agree.
I might.
Let's give some credit to lasagna.
I
You know
might get
what?
lasagna tonight.
Everybody out there, have some lasagna this week. Vegetarian or meat if you choose. But I will judge you.
That was so inherently judgy. All right, Andy, that is a wrap for this recap. If you enjoyed what you heard today, you know what we will ask of you, and that is to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow us on Instagram, and
TikTok,
leave us Apple and
Spotify.
podcast ratings and reviews. Tell your friends and generally do all the things you do to support a podcast you enjoy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, it's further now. You can do it. Andy's literally on his hands and knees making his way over to Ruby. Ruby, by the way, last night did the biggest belch right in Andy's face. And it was hilarious.
Ruby burps. She burps all the time.
Isn't it amazing? Woo. Oh.
That's her funniest thing is burping.
Isn't it so... Oh my God,
she just made a burp. Did you hear that?
She literally just burped. Isn't it so cute how much she makes us laugh out loud?
You know, I was thinking about that. I'm a hard laugh.
You are.
And I laugh at least once a day hard because of Ruby.
Yeah, if you need more laughs in your life, get one of these.
People told me that. They were like, oh, you get a dog. It'll make you laugh all the time. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's a dog. Why are you laughing at a dog?
She really is so funny.
She makes us laugh. She's hilarious.
Yeah. Okay. If
you know
only
why?
she could catch mice.
Confident.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Dear Shandy. Bye-bye.